Happy belated Friday the 13th. I'm Jordan and you're not. And this is going to be my review on a Friday the 13th fan film called Jason Rising. So, I first heard about this about 2 years ago, so 2019, so 1 year BC, before Corona. And of course, if you know me, I'm a big Friday the 13th fan. I got this new this Shout Factory collection that they released last year. So beautiful. So let's see. Let me get a couple of these out here. I'm saving these for later. And for those of you that don't know what fan films are movies made by fans. I guess that's self-explanatory. So I have a couple here. There's Never Hike Alone, which is a Friday the 13th fan film. You got Never Hike in the Snow, which is it's actually a prequel to that one, so I should have shown this one first. You got Vengeance, and you got one that came out last year on Halloween called Voorhees. So I've been waiting for Jason Rising for 2 years, and they finally released it last night, which was Friday the 13th. So now it's Saturday the 14th, so it doesn't really matter in the slightest. I'm kidding. So, yeah, I really, really enjoyed this movie. It was, I've said this numerous times that the cinematography alone was just beautiful, just to look at, just watch it for that element. Like the first 5 minutes of the movie, just looking at it, it's just so beautiful, and I can't explain it or describe it well enough. I'm sorry. So the movie is directed by James Sweet, and it was he co-wrote it with I think it was with the director of Never Hike Alone, which was Vincent DeSante. I hope I'm saying that right. And it was co-created with Robert Blanche. Now, I had no idea who Robert Blanche was until last year because during the pandemic, I started binge watching a show called Leverage, and he played a detective named Bonanno, so Detective Bonanno. And then, sadly, I learned that he passed away last year. Like it was January last year, before the whole world went to crap. So he helped with this movie, and that was more special. And they even at the very end, they even put like a little in loving memory of him, which was a really nice touch. Okay, so Jason Rising takes those 1, 2, 3, 4, which was parts 1 through 4 of the final chapter, and it takes place around there-ish. So when I get the Jason Rising on Blu-ray, I'll put it here. Okay, so let's start with the story. The story is about there's three women who are they're imprisoned at this correctional camp, and they escape. They break out. So that's when Sheriff Daltrey and Deputy Eve Glover, they all come in to help U.S. Marshals Jed and Bayer to help find them. So Bayer is kind of a tracker, kind of like Daryl Dixon. Well, not Daryl Dixon. That's the word. Okay, so I guess that's why they call him the Bear, or just Bear. So these women are Serena, Bobby, and Alex, or Alexander. So they rip this guy's dick off, and then they escape. Well, they don't show it, but then they escape, and of course they go to Camp Crystal Lake. And there's I'm gonna do my best to try not to spoil too much of this for people that haven't seen it that want to see it. So I'm gonna maybe do spoiler-free review now, and then maybe in October when I get the Blu-ray of this, maybe I'll talk about it again. And I'll talk some more about maybe some spoilers about things I couldn't talk about now. So these women escape, and these cops are trying to find them. So then they go off to Camp Crystal Lake. Okay, yeah. And this isn't too spoilery. This is in the trailers. So they go off to Camp Crystal Lake, and excuse me, I haven't talked in a while. So they go off to Camp Crystal Lake, and then for some reason there's there's a headless Pamela Voorhees wandering around. It's kind of like the Headless Horseman off Sleepy Hollow. Speaking of Sleepy Hollow, the whole the whole movie, it's so beautiful, by the way. It's like when they get to Camp Crystal Lake, it's all foggy and atmospheric. I love that. It's just beautiful atmosphere, and it begs to be watched in October. So watch it now, and then 2 months from now, like, so picture this: it's a cloudy, rainy October day, and you're curled up in your favorite comforter, drinking some pumpkin spice hot chocolate. So you sit down and you watch this movie. Do it. Okay, so yeah, you have to. It's like, this wave of fog comes in whenever Jason rises, and what they did with Pamela Voorhees in this movie, I thought that was really interesting how they did it. I'll try. So yeah, she's just a headless zombie corpse, I guess, and she's, of course, walking around just talking. Is that what she's thinking? Like, Jason, my special boy, you gotta get revenge for what they did for you, for what they did to me, which is kind of like how she talks in Freddy vs. Jason in the Friday the 13th remake. And there's a lot of Easter eggs and nods to other Friday the 13th movies. I don't know, like at the very beginning, they show Higgins Haven, which is where they go in part 3, which is my favorite, by the way. And it takes place right after, like, the events of the final chapter. So this is the new Friday the 13th Part 5 for all intents and purposes. And I think it cuts to, like, maybe 20 or 30 years later. They didn't really say. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Like, so if any of the creators of this movie are watching this video and they want to tell me the time frame of this movie, help me out. I've watched it twice so far. And let's see what else. So yeah, Jason's resurrected by his zombie decapitated headless mom, and there's some really interesting kills in this movie. There's one in particular that, of course, I can't tell you, that I thought was really interesting. I'll say it's kind of like Mortal Kombat, fatality, something like a Mortal Kombat death. And let's see, there's one death. One was like with like a axe and a machete at the same time, which that was interesting. And sorry for saying "and" so much. I haven't done this in a while, so forgive me. So yeah, the movie is about 1 hour long, so it's short, sweet, and to the point. But it's jam packed with so much stuff. It goes by really quick. You're not gonna be bored at all, because they're looking for these women, and there's action. He's shooting at a zombie headless decapitated Mrs. Voorhees, and there's like some might be some slight nods, references to the Evil Dead movies, maybe, like especially Evil Dead 2, where that Deadite's coming in with the chainsaw. I mean, he has the chainsaw, so maybe, I don't know. That's just me, a lot of people interpret things different than others. Man, I'm thirsty. So, cinematography alone, that gets an A+. And the kills, the practical effects, and the gore, that's A+. And the story is good, so I get A+. And let's see, there's some good character development. See, Deputy Eve Glover, she kind of starts off as a slacker, because she kind of, like, someone's speeding by and she just lets them go. She's reading a Fangoria magazine, and there's a reference later to the final chapter, that exercise video that Axel's watching in that one. Man, I'm sorry. And also, it's that song, that Man with No Fire, and I'm like, what is that? Man with No Soul in His Eyes, or Man with No Fire in His Eyes, that from the A New Beginning. I can't remember the name of that song. I feel as a Friday the 13th fan. Now, for the main twist, the last 10 minutes of the movie, I did not see this coming at all. Like, they kept it really hidden. Like, I didn't know about it. I knew nothing. Then, like, they hinted at something, and then you're like, nah, they wouldn't. Do they really get this to happen? And then, sure enough, it happens, and you're like, ah. So I can't say nothing, but I'll give you a hint without saying nothing. This one, and the first 5 minutes of this one, that's all I can say. So if you know, you know. Which was cool how they did that. So, yeah, and overall I give this movie an A+, which is something I never ever do. I'm kidding, I do it all the time. So everybody involved, James Sweet, Carl Winery, I hope I'm saying your name right. Hold on, I had the poster over here, I'll show you here in a second. Let's see, who else was involved? Anna Campbell, Kyle Vahan, Jason Reynolds, Jerry Bell, Lisa Sorensen, and Dan Kyle made a great Jason. The Jason in this movie is very reminiscent of the Part 3, Part 4 Jason. He's brutal, and his blood's kind of. They said they wanted his blood to be black since he's undead, and so yeah, just overall this whole movie was it's great. So please, right now, it's on YouTube for free right now. So please go give it a try, and I'll show you my posters. One's over here, and the other one's over there. Okay, so let me show you one. Not that one. Let's see, Jason Rising. You can kind of see Mrs. Voorhees' hand coming up. I know it's kind of hard to tell. Sorry. Okay, and then here's some brighter. And let's go over here. This is I've had this one up in my room for a year. So they even signed it there. Her and her right there. Let's see, that's Sheriff Daltrey, that's Jed, and this is Eve.